trying to think of what I could do to pay a little tribute to my mom, being that, she was 59 at the birthday and the cruise that she loved so much. And I was able to find some pictures of my mom and dad on their cruise in 1983. And you can kind of see the joy in their eyes. And that really kind of warms my heart that I kind of did something that had an experience that they had, that they enjoyed so much, and that I was able to enjoy it as well. So I haven't really said quite enough about the people that I met on the cruise. There wasn't any real, hey, let's be lifetime friends stuff going on, but there were kind of, cruise buddies, I guess you might say. You'd see the same people I saw the same people kind of regularly, because many times I was in the dirty smokers area. Everybody that was in there, very different. Like the first day I met this one lady who was from Connecticut, and she was there on a cruise with her son, who she said had some intellectual difficulties, and her husband. We had a great chat, a little bit about America these days. And she said, well, I hope I'll see you next time down here. So just look for the mom that smokes, And, but we talked for probably, I don't know, a good 20 minutes about things kind of quietly to ourselves. And we were pretty much on the same page with where things are at here now. And it just felt good. I didn't know that I would, because of how I felt, everyone was kind of staying away from those topics. I didn't know that I would actually end up having a deeper conversation with somebody that was cerebral. And that's not saying that people weren't, but people were friendly. So that lady was, the first joy. Then I met this other lady. Gosh, I can't think of her name right now. But she was pretty cool. She was like a, strong-headed businesswoman that was there to take a break, but she was on a mission to, do this and do that and so forth. But real sweet. We kind of hung out while we were doing the embarkation process. And it was just cool to connect with people again, because over the last number of years, I do find that I'm connecting with people less and less. I just don't want to have to find out somebody's undercover crazy, that undercover cuckoo stuff. I ain't got time for. I don't want to deal with. So it was interesting finding people that I could chat with that way. One night, my birthday night, I was seated in this incredible restaurant. I mean, when I say incredible, I mean, if I were here in Pittsburgh going to a restaurant of the same caliber, it would be like a Capitol Grill or a Morton-y kind of joint, And the food in there was just fantastic. It was, when they put like the little flower on the side and do all that kind of stuff. Then I also did a Rodizio restaurant. They had a Rodizio restaurant on there, Brazilian style. They bring the meat, they carve it off for you, and you turn the little card up or down depending on if you want to continue to be a glutton. Getting back to my birthday meal, I sat down next to another nice gal that at first she wasn't saying anything. They sat me like right next to her, tables in front of a booth thing, and I kind of looked over. She seemed like she was keeping to herself, and then the server came over and brought me my first bit of drink stuff, and served her food, and I just kind of turned and said, "Oh, that looks good." She got the lobster, and that was really neat because it kind of started off slow, but then by the time we were done eating, we're kind of joking with each other, and yeah, I ran into her a number of times on the boat, and she knew my other adopted or friend that adopted me. This guy Damien, that was a riot. Just he was always ready to go, and always I thought I was on the booze cruise, but he was on the booze cruise. Anyway, he was always like, "Oh, I'm so screwed up. I've just got loaded, blah, blah, blah." But a great guy from Seattle. And I just saw him on a regular basis. He enjoys going on these cruises pretty regularly. And so I was impressed with the caliber of people from the personality standpoint, from the I'm real, I'm human standpoint. I just love that about those that I did meet. And I started talking about the food. Look at the pictures. The servings were smaller. It wasn't like you went to Billy Bob's Crab Shack and they just threw it all at you. But they gave you so many, these were like 4 or 5 course kind of meal things. Appetizers on my birthday day, she gave me the 3 appetizers. The server, they brought me my choice of, I think I got tiramisu or creme brulee. I mean, I don't remember what incredible dessert I got. And then she brought me my cake too, a birthday cake. Food was incredible, even the buffet. The buffet was decent, and I kind of had the feeling like you're going to be eating a lot of this buffet stuff, but you had the ability to choose. I had 2 upgraded choices for dinner or lunch or whatever, 2 upgraded visits to their higher end restaurants, and then they had all of the additional restaurants in the boat that were complimentary. And I went to 4 of them, and there was probably another 6, 7. One was like Thai noodle bowl stuff. One was they had a really fancy steakhouse. It was probably at the level of Morton's. That was a pay for it thing. And just great places where you could eat nicely, like as if you were really going out to dinner. But the buffet, like I said, was solid, absolutely solid. So I usually did that for breakfast in the morning, and they had like bacon and hotcakes and sausage, and they would make your own. They make olives for you, omelets for you. They had it all, really. The juice and the tea and the coffee and such was free for those for everybody anyway. But I suppose if you hadn't gotten a drink package or something, you would have gotten that as well. I know that was part of the deal also. So I did not do a great job of really enjoying either when you cruise out, when you cruise in, because of my condition at those times. But when we cruised out of the Bahamas, I made sure to go upstairs, on top deck, in the stern, and I watched a really nice sunset. I mean, it wasn't, earth-shattering or anything like that, but it was a nice, pretty, calm, just soothing sunset as we traveled on to come back home. So that was a nice win there. I suppose could have gotten up in the morning and seen some wonderful sunrises. I probably should have. But one nice sunset out of that trip, which I enjoyed, just kind of being calm and watching that go on. A lot of these cruise YouTube channels, people will tell you and I don't think it's a lot. I just think that on a few, I'll say on some, how's that? On some, people will talk about how they weren't, the room wasn't exactly the way it should have been, or, tattered environments and so forth. But this ship was ship shape. It absolutely, there was nothing that I could say that was wrong in my cabin. The bathroom was plenty big. The shower a little tight, but it was a full shower. And when I had my boat, uh, it was kind of like that if you wanted to shower in there. But this, you could get around and do your thing. I could. If you're somebody that wasn't as big as I am, you'd have an easy time in there. Everything was clean, and the stewards were there all the time. Whenever you needed, if I needed something, all I would have had to do was ask. But I needed nothing. Everything was ship shape. To the deck furniture, the sheets, the everything, the curtains. And I've seen some people go to town on some of these cruise lines that have not provided that level of cleanliness, or thoughtful accommodation. There was also the ability to plug in the USB by the bed. They were American plugs. The room isn't loaded with a bunch of outlets for you, but enough to get what you need to get done in the room. So, and I had the balcony upgrade deal, so it was great because when I wanted quiet, I could go out on my balcony and I would just sit on my balcony. I would enjoy the water rushing by. I felt like I had a place to escape to. And I'm glad that I got that upgrade for $100, because that upgrade did give me that time to be away in my own space and not having to be outside with other people if I didn't want to be. I could have had breakfast there if I were the guy that wanted to order room service, but that was when I wanted to get out and start the day, see what's going on, have some breakfast. And I had a great, enjoyable time doing that. But again, having that balcony, it would have been nice. A window would have worked probably, but I used that balcony pretty extensively, I'll say. It was a great way to do that. King size bed, which was like two twins pushed together, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm on two twins pushed together and now I'm falling down the middle. There was a sofa in there, the television. One thing I was not really happy with, though, and maybe I just couldn't figure it out, is if you were in a situation where you wanted to just watch some movies or television, upgrade, gotta pay for it. And I didn't do that. I mean, I could, if I had gotten the all-time, anytime Wi-Fi deal, I probably could have just sat on my computer and watched, YouTube from there. But I've got nothing to say negative about the accommodations. They were incredible. They had this on the ship where everything was, it felt like you were in some kind of a mall or something where, everything was, higher end, or at least a nice level. And then where the main area was, they had off of the casino, they had this huge chandelier that was just 2 stories tall and really pretty, a little flashy for my taste, but it drew you in, and that was nice. There was the casino, like I said, and just a lot of fun, enjoyable stuff if you're to use that stuff in the ship the way that many people do, Let's talk about views wise, you're on the sea, you're on the ocean. So the view is just the ocean, you know? The view coming into Cozumel, though, was pretty hot. You know, I got up to see what it was looking like there. And the water, just this turquoise, aquamarine, what you think, you know, just that beautiful, clear, crystal environment, or shimmering, that people go on these trips for, you know, that's what you want to see. You're leaving the snow, which we have here right now, and the cold, which we have here right now. And it was just really pretty. And the same thing to be said of the Bahamas and the water there. Although we took a tender boat over in the Bahamas, and we actually docked when we were in Cozumel. So the tender boat you didn't see, you know, you're on the deeper water first, and then you come into where you can see that shimmering blue, aqua blue water. And then the palm trees come out. Palm trees everywhere. That's a win for me every time I see a palm tree. You know, I should have got a photo of me, like, literally under a palm tree or something, some video of that. But I didn't. And I got that wonderful burn on my leg for falling asleep, not under a palm tree or a parasol or anything. But that's that.